This video is going to give you my recommendations for things that should be on your radar for this Black Friday. Now, this video is not about who has the best sale. It's about what are the things that are on sale that's actually going to help you make better sounding music. It's not all about plugins in this video, even though there are some pretty awesome plugins that are on sale. Now, I have links to everything I'm going to talk about in the description. So if you want a sneak peek, you just go and check that out. My first recommendation for this Black Friday is to check out the sale going on right now by Synchro Arts. If you make music and you have a lot of different vocal layers, the plugins that they make is a total game changer. Basically, the software will take a vocal track and then time align and pitch align all of the separate doubles that you have to that original take. And if you want it to be super, super tight, like tighter than you would be able to do manually, it can do that for you. I've been using their Vocal Line Project and Revoice software for probably 10 years at this point, and it has saved me hundreds, if not thousands, of hours of editing. I don't want to get into examples here. You can check out the demonstrations online. If you produce music professionally or you just don't have enough time in your day, I'd recommend looking at Revoice Pro 4. It's by far the most versatile out of all of these software. If you're looking for something to do a pretty amazing job but isn't quite as comprehensive, check out Vocal Align Ultra. Or if you're just looking for something to tighten up the vocal tracks and you don't care about the pitch, check out Vocal Line Project. It's priced a lot better. This is great for hip hop or rap. Also, don't sleep on their repitch software. I actually prefer this over Auto-Tune. To me, this is just easier and faster to use. You can get Vocal Line Ultra and the pitching software as a bundle for Black Friday as well. And it's going to save you an incredible amount of time. Second on my list is a good quality pair of headphones. These things are crystal clear. They sound really, really good just right out of the gate without any EQ correction or anything. You will not be disappointed. My mixes translated really, really well when I was using these in my studio. I have a pair right here as evidence to prove to you guys that I actually use them. This Black Friday, you're gonna get it for way cheaper than I paid. You can get them for, actually right now, it's $289. Remember that with headphones, you don't have to worry about treating your room. So for 300 bucks, you don't have to worry about buying studio monitors. You don't have to worry about building or buying these sound panels to treat your room because you can completely remove the room by wearing headphones. Third on my list is some software that you might not have heard of yet. It's called Debreath Live. Debreath Live is basically a souped up version of SonarWorks. This software is used to EQ correct your studio monitors in your local mixing environment to make it sound as flat as possible. Now, this is not an excuse to not treat your studio with sound panels and things like that, but this software will not only EQ correct your studio monitors, but it can also phase correct your studio monitors. Okay, that's something that SonarWorks does not do. Phase correction is going to fix your stereo image at your listening position. It's really going to help you figure out what's going on spatially in your songs, and it really helps me identify problem areas that I can quickly fix by EQing. I've shown this software to a few of my buddies that also have studios, and they were all blown away when they were using it. Now, Debreath has a bunch of things they sell, but what you're looking for is the live room correction. So this is the software that I'm using in my studio right now. I actually have a 2.2 system, which means I have 2 speakers and 2 subwoofers, and this works just fine. So the not sale price is $349. You'll probably be able to pick this up for under 300 bucks. This is a steal if you feel like your mixes are not translating to the real world. You will also need to pick up a microphone to use when you're doing this live correction, and I'll put my favorite one that I use in the description. I'm telling you, don't sleep on this. This is a game changer. Now, if you want to correct your room or maybe even correct your headphones, but you don't want to pay as much as you're paying for Debreath, you can use something called SonarWorks. SonarWorks is basically the same thing as Debreath Live, except they don't do any phase correction. So it's not quite as good as Debreath, but it's still a really good product, and it's something I use in my studio for a number of years. SonarWorks comes as a system-wide driver, so that means that you can install it on your computer, and then any audio coming out of your computer is corrected by this software. Okay, so you're going to get a relatively flat room response that's tailored based on the calibration that you perform when you run the software. And trust me, when I say the calibration is foolproof, it really is. I've done a deep dive on SonarWorks and showed how well it fixed the acoustics in my room. I'll put a link to that video up here. SonarWorks also has a multi-channel option if you're doing like 7.1 mixing. And apparently they now support Atmos, which is kind of cool. So the different versions of SonarWorks that you have are for just headphones. If you have studio monitors, this is actually what I was using. So this allows me to correct both my speakers and my headphones. So if I want to double check a mix with headphones on, I can then just switch the correction to headphones. And if you look at all the different features, you're pretty well taken care of. Now, the one thing I wish that SonarWorks actually had in their software was this phase alignment feature, especially for speakers. It doesn't really matter that much for headphones because all the phase stuff should be taken care of at the factory, so you don't have to worry about it. One last thing I want to point out is that the headphones version supports over 500 different headphone models, which is insane. Now, if you're like, Bobby, I don't have that kind of money, I got you. For those on a budget that are mixing in headphones, definitely check out Waves CLA NX. This is basically what SonarWorks is doing, built into one plugin, but it also gives you a room simulator built into the headphones. I have a full deep dive on this specific plugin right up here, but you're gonna get it for probably under 35 bucks this Black Friday. And while they don't have as many headphone correction profiles as SonarWorks, they do have over 270 different ones. Again, there's a good chance that they have the correction profile for your headphones. Next on my list of must-haves for this Black Friday, Soothe 2. Everybody is pretty much in agreement that this plugin is amazing. It's on sale this Black Friday, and they never have sales. Soothe is basically just a resonance suppressor. It goes in, finds the harsh frequencies in your mix, and then surgically removes them, leaving you with something that just sounds more open and easy to listen to, especially when you crank it up. There really isn't any other plugin on the market quite like Soothe. And it's a tool that I use literally in every single mix I use, and there's nothing that can replace it. Definitely go and check that one out. Now, my next plugin is basically the Loudness cheat code. This one is by Sonics. It's called Inflator. You can get Inflator for 28 pounds. Now, I would have this in dollars, but I couldn't figure out how to change it on their website. I really like the sound of Inflator. I use it all the time when I'm mixing as well. It sounds great on a drum bus or anything that you want to try to gel and add a lot of punch to it. It also does some cool stuff on the low end. Definitely recommend picking it up while it's on sale, because otherwise you got to cough up about 115 pounds. That's a lot of money. People like money. Save your money. Buy it on sale. Another plugin for all you audio nerds. Guess what? DDMF Plugin Doctor is on sale, 40% off this Black Friday. You've probably seen me use it in a number of my videos. It allows you to analyze what's going on underneath the hood of your plugins. Looks like this. And it's super fun to learn about what your plugins are doing. You can analyze the frequency response. You can look at the dynamics. You can look at the harmonics. It is a pretty cool thing. And if you buy it right now, it's 23 bucks. Again, I'll have links to all this stuff in the description. Next on my list, something that's a game changer. I also use this every single time I'm mixing or mastering music, is Adapter Audio Metric AB. This is probably the best referencing tool you can buy for listening and comparing your music that you're mixing to other commercial songs. So this is going to help fix all that ear fatigue you might be experiencing when you're mixing. It's going to help you get back on track to make sure you're making good choices when you're mixing or mastering music. And right now you get it on sale for $99. I have a feeling it's going to be even cheaper on Black Friday. I've seen this as cheap as like $29. This is something that almost everybody should have if they can afford it. Now, if you need a cheaper alternative, check out Mastering the Mix Reference 2. Something unique about this that I find really interesting, it will compare your current mix or the master you're working on with whatever reference you have loaded and show you what you need to do to the EQ to make the EQs basically match between your song and the reference. So sometimes when I'm mixing a song, I won't quite know what it's missing. So I can load up a reference song in this plugin, and then the EQ will show me like, hey, Bobby, your low end is like way too loud. You need to bring it down. And this is a great way to get feedback about how your mix is comparing to those commercial songs that you know sound great everywhere. Right now, their sale is live. You can get 30% off this plugin and pick it up for $43, which is a lot better price point than Metric AB. Now, if you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of plugins, and you're like, oh man, there's so many plugins that I don't have and I want to get them all, I have a suggestion for you. Definitely check out the Horizon bundle by Waves. This bundle has over 80 different plugins. And these are plugins that I'm using in almost every single one of my mixes. So actually, if we show all 83 plugins, you can see like There are so many good plugins here. The only thing it's missing is Wave C6. But if you just need a good base of a lot of really, really good tools, I don't think you can really beat this for $300. And it's a perpetual license, so you own those plugins forever. I bought this bundle maybe 15 years ago for about $3,000. So this is a good deal. It even has tools like Debreath. So if you do a lot of vocal forward music, like pop, hip hop, rap, sometimes metal, you get a lot of these weird breath sounds. And instead of having to go in and edit them all out, you can just use this plugin and it's like magic. It removes all the breath. Or you can remove like 80% of the breath or 50%. I don't know why more people don't use this, but this thing is amazing. And it's included in the bundle. It's also got Kramer tape, which I use all the time. I use this Pi compressor on drums. I love this delay. It's one of my favorite delays. It's easy to use. It has MV2, which is kind of like the OTT compressor. This sounds awesome on a bass guitar. It has a Pultec EQ. Smack Attack is awesome. I have a bunch of videos on how I use that on guitars and drums. Sibilance is my go-to for taking out S's that are really harsh on a vocal. The stereo imager sounds good if you just use it a tiny bit. Don't go overboard. It sounds like crap. Now, if you're a guitar player that does rock or metal music, there are two companies that really stand out, in my opinion, for amp sims. The first one, Neural DSP, looks like they have 50% off all of their plugins. You're going to be paying a premium for this because get out of here, because they sound really good. But if you don't want to drop $60, $80 on an amp sim, I got you. Check this out. Bogren Digital. These guys are slaying it. They have the easiest to use amp sims I've ever seen. These like one knob plugins that sound incredible. I have a billion videos on all their stuff because I use it all the time. And they have this new plugin that they just dropped. I did a big review on this. It uses this IRDX technology where they use machine learning to reconstruct the differences between a mic'd cab and an impulse response so they can capture some of those nonlinear things happening. It's pretty cool. And they have like training software to help you like get better at playing guitar. They have like metronomes you can set up or riff recorder. For $50, are you kidding me? Like, this is a no-brainer. And some of their one knob plugins are only $25 this holiday season. I use their drum samples in like everything that I mix, if it's rock or metal. And their impulse responses are amazing. And they're all on sale too. $20. I realize it sounds like I'm really selling the Bogren Digital stuff, but that's because it's actually good. Now, if you have a bunch of amp sims or you have a good drum VST that you always use in your music, there's really no need to go and buy a bunch of these other things. Unless you're missing that particular sonic palette. Buying more and more drum samples or buying more and more amp sims is not going to solve your problem with mixing. There's probably something else going on that's keeping your music from sounding great. That could be just due to a lack of editing skills. It could be that when you're mastering your music, you're trying to do too much. It might be that your ears just aren't trained as to what frequencies you should be listening for when you're mixing and finding which ones you should remove from your songs when it sounds muddy. If this sounds like what's happening to you and you want to solve that problem, I also have a few suggestions. The first one, if you can't hear compression or you can't figure out what frequencies are muddy in your mix, check out Sound Gym. This is basically an online game that helps you train your ears to identify where these frequencies are. It helps you hear compression. It helps you hear all the nuances that you're going to need to be able to hear if you want to make really good sounding music. The EQ training is actually really cool. I'm just going to show you because I have an account here. You go log into your account and you say, oh, I want to mix music, and you create a training program, and then they start testing you for your ability to hear different frequencies. So check this out. So this is the flat song, and then you have to identify where the boost in the frequency is when they have the EQ on. So to me, it sounds like 800, 900 hertz. Boom, baby. My ears are golden. So you get the idea. You'll be able to hear these frequencies in the context of an actual song so you can make better EQ decisions when you're mixing your music. It's pretty awesome. In fact, I wish I made something like that for all of you, but they did such a good job, I'm just gonna use theirs. Now, if you're struggling with editing or getting your songs to sound really polished, I have a solution for you. If you're on my newsletter, you probably have seen this. Guess what? I have an Edit Like a Pro mini course that teaches you how to edit drums, guitars, bass, and vocals like a pro. And I've done it in the fastest way possible using a very logical, systematic approach so that anybody can do this. And I teach you how to do every single thing step by step. So no matter what DAW you're using, whether that's Cubase, Pro Tools, FL Studio, it doesn't matter. You're still gonna learn how to professionally edit all those different instruments. Normally, each of these mini courses are like 37 or 47 bucks. You can get the bundle for 97, but you're gonna get 50% off this Black Friday. You just have to use coupon code BF23 for Black Friday 23 when you go to purchase this. It'll give you 50% off your cart. I really do think this is the best editing course out there, and it's gonna help you make awesome sounding music. Finally, if you've been experimenting with mastering or you wanna learn how to master your own music so you can release it on these platforms and be confident it's gonna sound really good and loud and powerful everywhere, I also have a complete home studio mastering course. So the majority of us are making and mixing music in our basements, in a spare bedroom or our bedroom. This course is designed for all those people in mind. And again, you'll get this for 50% off this Black Friday. So you're gonna learn all my tricks for hearing compression, knowing how much compression to add, when you're oversaturating stuff, the right way to use an EQ, and I'm even gonna explain my system and make sure that my masters sound loud and powerful and they don't just get like turned down by these streaming services. I'm gonna get rid of all these audio myths for you so you have the right information to make the best decisions for your music. And it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Oh. But I'm serious. If you have any issues, you let me know and I'll get you your money back. All those things I just shared with you, I really do think are gonna help you make your music sound better. I think it's very important that you take time and consider treating your room, EQ correcting your room, maybe buying a good pair of headphones that help you make good decisions, and then even look at investing in yourself and checking out Sound Gym or maybe some of the courses that I have. The referencing plugins are massive. I highly recommend checking those out. And if you're just getting started out and you need a good, solid group of plugins to use for your mixes, definitely check out the Waves Horizon bundle. These plugins have stood the test of time. They still sound amazing, and I use them in every single mix. If you play guitar and you're looking for like a really aggressive rock or metal tone, definitely check out Neural DSP and Bogren Digital. Bogren Digital also has some really awesome drum samples, so if you need something that hits a little bit harder, sounds a little bit more realistic, check those out. Now, I'm super curious what your thoughts are. Is there anything that I mentioned in this video that you're considering picking up for this Black Friday? Let me know in the comments. Did I miss anything? And let me know if you've had your eye on something that you think is going to be a game changer for your music. Enough of my blabbing. Happy holidays. I'm Bobby Bale, the mixing and mastering engineer at Raytown Productions, and I'll see you in another video.